The ordinary may not be so ordinary, and things may not be as they seem. Perhaps it may be better to start this story from the beginning on a quiet spring morning, when I received some photos of a workbench. It was built by a gentleman named Dell. I'm grateful to receive a lot of photos lately, because I get to connect and sometimes share stories with builders from all over. And to think that it all started with a frozen pile of Douglas fir that I turned into a workbench for a table saw. Well, after some encouragement, I took it apart and rebuilt it, adding a miter saw. Then I made some plans so others could build their own. And now some builders are adding their own touches, like a router lift. It makes routing easier and a lot more precise. So today the workbench journey continues. I'll show you how I installed my router lift 2 different ways. One simple, and the other, you'll just have to see. I plan to install it behind my miter saw. There's enough space here for a full-size router table. I'm not going to install the table though, just the lift and some T-track for a fence.
Level 1.
So I'll confess, in the end I didn't use this method, but I did mock something up for you. So imagine this piece of plywood is your workbench that you'll install your router into.
Hey, it's not that kind of router. It's this kind.
What? Okay. Grab 4 pieces of wood. Make sure they're longer than the longest side. Get yourself some double-sided tape, outrageously expensive by the way. Apply it to your 4 pieces and place them tight up against your lift. To remove it with some help from my pops, and we're ready for the router and a top-bearing mortising bit, typically used for plunging. Unlike a flush trim bit, this one has a 10-degree shear angle for more of a slicing cut. It's kind of like the difference between this guy and this guy. Then all you gotta do is get your willing assistant to cut a nice clean channel around all 4 sides. FYI, today is an awesome day because my folks are visiting, and I get to work in the shop with my dad. And after a quick inspection, making sure everything looks good, we're ready to cut out the inside. After my dad and I play tag with the jigsaw, the inside's removed, we drop in the router lift to test the fit, and voila, you're done. And it looks great. Okay. My only beef with this method is the gap it leaves in the corners. And since I'm a picky guy, let's move on.
Level 2.
For this method, I'm making a template. I wrap tape around the edge to expand the plate size. I want it to fit the first time. Oh, and in case you're interested, I'll leave links to any tools I used in the description below. We just finished cutting out the template and get a surprise.
Kind of get what we're up to, right? What we're up
So
to?
a lot of people have been saying you want a router.
Well, no, there's just certain people that are putting a router in there. And me included, I want to put one in here. I just haven't had time.
Alright.
So I thought I would put it in and make a video of me putting it in. Maybe someone will see it, and it'll help them put theirs in. Yeah. Did you like your waffles?
That was delicious. And okay, might as well go back and watch my,
Virgin River.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, people, it's time to get back to work and make a little jig. It's gonna help me drill some accurately placed holes using a 1.5-inch Forstner bit, which just so happens to match the corner diameter of my mounting plate. The first time I tried this, the Forstner bit kind of dug into my jig and it cut the hole past my pencil lines. So by adding playing cards, I was able to avoid this and get way better accuracy. This next part actually had me questioning my sanity, because I was like, did you just not see me line that up nicely? Then I found the reason why. Maybe you can too. The answer's in this clip. Anyway, after I figured it out, bada boom, bada bing, bada bang, we've got our 4 holes cut and we're ready to move on. Alrighty then, for this next part, all we're going to do here is chop out the inside. And once it's removed, just set it aside, we'll be using it later. And just take note, we're not cutting to the line. We're leaving about a 1/4 inch space. We'll clean that up later on. And on that piece you set aside, let's take off 3/4 of an inch or so on all 4 sides. And with some double-sided tape, apply it to maybe an offcut from this process, and line it up with 2 of the holes. This piece will guide your router. Over it goes, place the offcut from before, and we're ready to make the cut using a 1/2 inch double bearing spiral flush trim router bit. God, that's a mouthful, but check this out. The thing cuts like butter. And we'll give it a quick feel for how things turned out, and it looks good, so we'll carry on with the remaining sides. Well, and there you have it. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. We just made a nice template for my mounting plate, which will enable me to install my router lift. Well, now that the inside's removed, I'm just going to double check the fit, making sure my lift is going to sit exactly where I want it to. I think it looks good, and since I make a lot of mistakes, we're going to try and avoid one of those now, preventing this cantilever type of motion that can happen when using my router. And we're going to do this by making use of the cutout from my workbench and the one from the template we just made. And like before, we'll use some double-sided tape on the template, flip it over, position it where I want, and I'm nervous now because I'm about to cut into my nice tabletop.
Hey buddy, what's up? I'm just about to install the new router lift, but probably have a coffee first. Oh hey man, a new episode of Reacher's coming up tonight too, eh? Yeah, I know.
Okay, that seemed to go well, but before I do anything else, I found this used gauge block set on Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to use it to quickly check that my cut is deeper than the thickness of the plate. And seeing that it is, I can move on to the next step, which is drilling holes for 4-threaded inserts. These will help keep the router lift securely in its place. I need to enlarge these holes to fit the inserts, but I found that jumping straight to the largest drill bit can cause the hole to wander, So instead I'll step up gradually to the final size that I need. And for the inserts themselves, I found I like the one on the right better. Using the Allen key, it makes it easier to install for me. Well, if you can believe it, I'm finally ready to install my router lift. And here's why we needed that cut to be deeper, so we can raise the plate up to match the level of the workbench surface. And with a few final tweaks here and there and a last check to make sure everything is level, I'm pretty excited to make it this far.
Oh my God.
I'd imagine, if you're still with us, you might be wondering, what's with the box? Well, it has to do with the router, and the fact that these two ports are air intake. And these ports up at the top, they're the exhaust. And you know what, it might be easier to explain with the box installed. And speaking of which, it took some heavy damage. And I'm actually surprised it didn't blow apart. I show you how this happened, but it's at the very end. Anyway, I'll show you with the box installed. Oh, that's the cat. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, these two holes at the bottom are the air intake, free from any dust. The air travels through these flexible hoses, into the bottom of the housing, then out the ports at the top, and finally out the top of the plate, blowing any dust away from the bit. Well, I think we should turn it on, get it up to speed, and let's see how it works. I've never used a router lift before, but it sure did a nice job, and I can't wait to use it on some future projects. Well, the only thing left is cut in some T-track, grab some wood from up there so I can make my router fence that'll go here, but that'll be for my next video. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you're curious about my workbench plan, I've left a link in the description, and I'll leave you with a few behind the scenes, sort of a bit of what it took me to make this video for you. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey, good morning, brother. Hey, I just saw your message. Thanks for helping me out with this part. Yeah, basically it's like looking for a rock one and maybe a country one, so I have an option because for the feel of the video. Anyways, it kind of goes like, you know, palm muting, chug, 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 and then wah, wah, ba, 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 wah. With the guitar or something like that. Or chug, 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 wah, ba, 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 ba. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, you can turn that into something that sounds awesome. Well, there you go. Okay, Dave, love you. Talk to you later.